is just fantastic.
Over the past 2 days, 2 separate incidents, yes, took place, both involving streamers of known notoriety, infamy, notorious, successful, very successful in the case of all of them in fact, where in the IRL setting, something bad happened to them. Now I have seen some say in one of these instances that it's staged. I've seen a couple say that the other is staged. Truthfully, I don't care if they're staged or not, it does however raise alarm bells about what is or is not acceptable in the IRL space, right? For example, if you are an IRL streamer, don't be a dick, okay? Now I say that because of some of the male streamers, explicitly the male streamers, who are colossal knobs, and they go around with massive security guards because they know they're going to get their head kicked in if they carry on. Some jump borders, go to other countries like Johnny Somali to get banned from each country in turn before he ends up getting detained in a country that really doesn't appreciate him. Understandably so when he violates their culture so richly, selfishly. These streamers pay a lot of money because of the level of success they have, but that doesn't mean they should have to in the first place. Some do it because, to be honest, I think they're okay with it. Like Kai, like IShowSpeed, neither of whom I can show clips of because it turns out they're little bitches. In the case of Kai, an incredibly ungrateful one. In the case of Speed, he's just an idiot, but a funny one at that. A very agile idiot. Then we skip to the female streamers. Now, they have a different kind of market. Some do the thought stuff, and one of these streamers certainly qualifies as such. Others do reactions, others do gaming, right? The IRL female streamers are nowhere near as toxic as the male ones, right? But the one thing they don't do that they should consider is protect themselves as much as the men do. I'm not saying they should have to, but you should consider it. That only applies to one group that we're going to be talking about today. The other one was at home, or going to be home. Basically, the attack happened at her home. That is not acceptable. Of course it isn't. This is the person, of course, that many think is faking. In the second instance, I still marvel at the fact that there are people around and no one does anything, including the cameraman who is there to help you with your marathon stream. I have criticisms, of course I do. They usually center around a white feather. We'll talk about the first streamer who was held, attacked, harmed, trying to see if we can carefully get this around YouTube's monetization. They were, I don't know if they are anymore, but they were once a Twitch streamer, a thought. They have a lot of links. They're incredibly successful. They're simps, and their success because of what they've done over the years, abusing the meta like there's no tomorrow, took them to an echelon many of us could only wish, without having to show anywhere near the level of blech that they've shown. They are now mostly, if not exclusively, on Kick. They've been banned from YouTube. I know they've been banned so many times from Twitch, it's beyond a joke. Kick, though, offers a bigger opportunity for them, a bigger share of the money. It's probably a better platform for them as a streamer. I'm, of course, speaking of Amouranth. Now, we've covered them before on this channel many times, because I didn't fully support any of the bans. I didn't support much of what actually happened to them, to be honest. And I don't support what has happened recently. On Twitter, Amouranth posted a series of tweets. Not everything's included, of course not. There is a criminal investigation side of this. Things that need time to be revealed, right? At 4:55 on March the 3rd AM, Amouranth tweeted, "This is not a prank, help." Because many don't want to believe Amouranth could ever actually be in legit trouble because of the last time I remember her asking for help or talking about being in trouble concerning her ABUSIVE husband. I don't even know if they're still together. I don't know if it was a scam or not. People believe this to be another attempt at crying wolf. Minutes later she posted, "I'm being robbed at gunpoint. I believe I shot one of them. They wanted crypto, is what they were yelling. They pulled me out of bed. This was a home invasion. SWAT, here now, I'm safe." She retweeted this and later said, "They pistol whipped me, but I got one. I'm bleeding a lot, but stable, going to hospital." Underneath someone had said, "Delete this post, they'll use it in court with your quote." I'll be honest, if someone breaks into your home in a number of states, you're allowed to pop them. In my country, if you hit them with a spud gun, you go to prison for 20 years. Because my country are morons. Unless I'm mistaken, isn't Amouranth in Texas? Isn't that where she is? I don't remember. And I did quickly Google this. In Texas, you are allowed to use deadly force to protect your property. So I'll be honest, the tweet, I see no issue with it, to be honest. But I can understand why some would think to delete it. Later, she tweeted a very short clip of the police sirens anyway outside the gates of her property by saying, "I'm covered in blood, but only some of it is mine. I'll update y'all later, but I'm safe now. Was at gunpoint. They gave me phone and said log in with gun to my head, and I tweeted because calling would be a death sentence." Underneath there is a reply from someone called Angelica saying, "I'm at the scene and she's okay. Whoever is saying this is fake, I can guarantee you this isn't, and I never want to be this scared again." The final tweet for this part: 3 gunmen. He screams, I got shot after. I'm not supposed to post the scene itself, nor the casing, which are now evidence. They beat me before this video and pistol whipped me. The pummeling felt like it would never end, and I protected my head by putting my arms up like I learned to in boxing. They brought duct tape and masks and were armed with handguns. The video is 53 seconds long, and yes, not ideal at all. I don't know if I can get away with showing any of it on YouTube, to be honest, so I might just link the tweet. She did acknowledge she may have to remove the video later. Since that was 19 hours ago at time of recording, it's still up. She also includes, in one of the last tweets of this thread, they kept shooting my bedroom door and then finally kicked it in, showing some quite severe damage to the wood. In the replies to this, Amouranth had speculated she wasn't sure if she was going to come back to streaming and online as a whole, and I could kind of understand that. I say kind of, mostly understand that, because your life has now been threatened by people who want your crypto wallet. There's no other way of getting it other than with Amouranth alive to give you what you want, and that's not okay. I may not be involved or be okay with crypto as a whole, I think it's a scam, but you have no right to what is rightfully hers. And to do something like that is disgusting behaviour. You may be jealous of her success, and she has a lot. She owns a lot. She's very successful. No horse sanctuary, though, I did notice. Yes, I know, people have been collaring her for a while about that one. But it doesn't change the level of success she has. It does not entitle you to go to her home and do that to her. Based on the fact there was no husband present, I'm assuming they're not together at this point. Not that I think he'd protect her anyway. She chose to fight. That's impressive on its own. And I know some people might not care, because boob streamer, right? She's a thought. I'm afraid when it comes to the humanity side of things, I'm going to hold a consistent... Don't do it. Don't go to people's homes. Don't approach them in the street. Don't hassle, harangue. Don't bully. Don't harm. You may or may not like that person, but it does not entitle you to do that to them. These people, I don't know if they were viewers at all. They're going to get caught. We all know that. It's only a matter of time. Moving on from this, we need to talk about 3 streamers who I honestly thought were the same person. There is a joke in there, and someone might say I'm racist. No, there's just a certain group of streamers who all look very similar. That's all. So next we're going to go to 3 streamers who are doing a marathon, IRL, which is a bit risky. Mostly because if people know where you are, they are going to come to you. Especially if you're popular and famous enough. And I'm not justifying what happened, just to be clear. I'm just making this, making people aware that this will happen as consequence. Because people are, much like online, dicks. Okay? The streamers are Valkyrae, who I've heard of because she spoke about sex and refusing to use condoms or whatever on a podcast. The clip was all over Twitter. Emiru, who I've seen because of her forehead. And another called Sinner. There are other people, I believe, and a camera person, man, woman, I actually don't know which, where they were on a pier, I think, and an individual made advances. And that's where we're going to go now, to what had happened on this pier. And by the way, this was unacceptable. There is fallout, yes, and we'll get to some of that as well.
Yes, please.
Oh God.
Oh God, yes, that is. Can I sing for a change? A change for the better, as you would say?
Okay.
And the change would be for her number.
Oh.
If you like it, can I get your number?
I don't have a phone. I'm sorry.
Wait, put your number in mine.
I don't know how to use a phone. I'm sorry.
Wait.
The level of awkwardness here. I don't know if any of them are introverts, but the behaviour comes across as very introverted. And too unwilling to just say outright, no thank you, right? And I understand that, by the way. I've been on the internet long enough. I remember in the younger years of my time on YouTube, I had people asking for my phone number or my Snapchat or whatever. I barely use Snapchat. I contacted one content creator on that. Most of my communications were over Skype. I had someone try and ask me to use Kik, K-I-K once, and I was like, no. What is that? No thank you. Not that guy. And now I know what Kik is because of Halls of Injustice. Yeah. Not stupid, thank you. This is a very awkward interaction, and yes, it could have been shut down better, I fully agree. However, the person should never have made the advances in the first place. I will accept that. I'm obviously going to say that because it's very rude to think otherwise. Oh, the onus is on the women. It's all their fault. No, we're not that guy. Don't try me. The situation doesn't get any better though, and does gradually spiral.
Wait, so I'm gonna keep following her. I'm gonna keep following her.
Not another one! I go! You're gonna have to get in line. There's too many stalkers!
That's not how you really riz.
Bro, what the fuck?
That's not the riz.
Get behind me! Okay. Oh my god.
Kendrick,
Are we getting churros?
Kendrick, add it into the list.
It can be argued that looked a bit playful, right? It can be argued that's how it can look. It isn't, and the individual who is acting, let's say, playful, yeah, the male, right? No, he should back the fuck off. 100% he should. Or should have. He should not have done what he's about to do. I will say that perhaps at that point, where it went too far, it would have been helpful for the, and I don't want this to seem like benevolent sexism, but for somebody a bit more forceful to simply step forward and say no. And that camera guy might well have been it. I can't be certain. I do have a certain amount of ire towards those who do not act to help those who need to be helped.
You like these? Incognito time. Stand behind me. I don't like. I'm gonna keep following her.
Yeah. Like,
Where's your little Glock? I mean the lighter.
I'll beat him if I have to.
Forgot we're in public.
No, I'll beat him.
I have to insert this because of fair use. I want to play as much of this as I can, so you have as much of the context, but I know I could get a copyright claim. Although I probably still will get one because, sadly, that is the nature of the online space. Back to the video, though.
I mean,
What's good? I think we're just gonna go.
let's go. Oh, no, we're not. Hey, excuse me?
No!
Security?
Emily, no!
Hey,
Stop!
Whoa.
Let's fucking fight right now.
What?
Right.
Get away from
now.
Credit to Emily, I believe, for getting in there, because he really should have backed off. I think he thinks he's being playful. I'm not trying to assume too much, but the smile on his face earlier had me believe he thought he was being funny. There's nothing funny about this situation at all. If you're an IRL streamer, there is always a risk, yes. But not all IRL streamers are Jack Doherty. Not all IRL streamers are Speed. And yes, I'm going to include him because of some of the crap he's pulled in the past, like doing his European tour. Not everyone's like the Action Man, yeah? Or Johnny Somali. Some people live and thrive to be accosted in public, like Ice Poseidon. Many do not.
Security!
He's harassing us.
What's going on? What's going on, man?
Right now. Kill you right now.
Fuck off.
Kill you right now.
Security, please.
Security! Is somebody threatening to kill us?
It is not okay to harass publicly, or not publicly, any person at any point. Yes, I understand some creators do it on purpose to rage bait, farming for clicks. These streamers do not qualify. They really don't. It still does not justify any action taken by anyone unless it is to protect those three individuals and others that they were with. That's important. The fact there was a complete lack of help from anyone around astonishes me. Some people, like Ludwig, consider this stream a dub because it gave them some publicity, right? I don't agree with that. To use it to drive home a point about men being toxic in the world, as it were, is not the right attitude to have. Solving the problem is key, I fully agree. In this instance, justice for this instance for those three streamers that were, well, threatened. They were threatened. On Twitter, Ray had put out a statement, as had Sinner and Emmy. Ray had said, "We are all okay and have been with police. We had decided we are done with the marathon and need time to process. The end of marathon brunch stream we have planned tomorrow with friends will be rescheduled for some time in the future. There's one. From Sinner, we are safe. We end, thank you, yeah." To add, Rossley and Emily did everything they could to separate us, especially after the clip. That's very brave of them, and I'm glad somebody did do something. Emmy had tweeted out, "I'm sorry for not saying anything sooner, I've just been in shock," explaining what had happened. "I wish I could say this was some kind of 1 in a million incident, but the truth is, it is not. This is what life is like for girls." There's a part of me that wants to latch on and be a little critical, but I'm not going to because I do think they have a point in this respect. It is not helped by the slew of streamers who create the toxic environment that make it harder for other streamers to do these kind of streams without being accosted. I'm not blaming the streamers, I'm saying that there is always a consequence to others' actions that impact you. I'm not seeking to blame again, by the way. I know it sounds like it, I just don't know how to phrase it better. I do hope in this instance, the three of you do not feel any level of negativity when it comes to doing those kind of streams in the future. They may not be my kind of cup of tea, of course not, because I don't really care for it. It's just that I'm too old, alright? But in the context of what you do, you are successful at it, and you should never be afraid of that. And that one individual should never be the person that stopped you from doing what you enjoy. Small bit of advice though, please hire security going forward. Cool.